Most people assume people who never worry about money must have a lot of it. A millionaire, a business owner, someone with a huge investment portfolio, someone whose bank account is so large that financial problems simply don't exist anymore. But if you've ever met truly calm people around money, you've probably noticed something strange. Some of them aren't rich, at least not in the way most people imagine. Meanwhile, there are people earning six figures, running successful businesses, and making impressive incomes who seem stressed all the time. They're constantly checking account balances, constantly refreshing investment apps, constantly worried about losing what they have. So what's really going on? Why does one person earning $60,000 sleep peacefully at night, while another earning $300,000 lies awake, worrying about money? At first, it seems like the second person should feel safer. More income, more resources, more options. Yet, that's often not what happens. And the reason reveals one of the biggest misunderstandings people have about money. Because the people who rarely worry about money usually share a psychological trait that has almost nothing to do with their income. In fact, once you see it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. You'll notice it in ordinary people. You'll notice it in wealthy people. And you'll notice that some of the most financially stressed people are often the ones everyone else assumes have it all figured out. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some people remain calm during recessions, market crashes, job losses, and financial uncertainty, while others never stop worrying no matter how much money they make. And the answer may completely change the way you think about wealth. 1. They don't need money to feel safe. Most people think money creates security, and to a certain extent, that's true. Having savings is better than having none. Having options is better than having no options. But there's a hidden problem. Security is partly financial, yet it's also deeply psychological. And psychological security doesn't always grow at the same speed as a bank account. Think about someone standing beside the ocean. If they are afraid of water, giving them a bigger boat helps. But it doesn't remove the fear. Many people spend their lives trying to solve emotional uncertainty with financial solutions. They tell themselves, if I can just save a little more, if I can just earn a little more, if I can just reach this number, then I'll finally relax. Then I'll finally stop worrying. Then I'll finally feel safe. But something interesting happens. They reach the number, and the feeling never arrives. Instead, a new number appears. A bigger goal, a bigger target, a bigger safety net. And suddenly, what once seemed like financial freedom starts feeling insufficient. The people who rarely worry about money understand something different. They understand that money can reduce risk, but it cannot eliminate uncertainty. Because uncertainty is part of life itself. No amount of money can guarantee perfect health, perfect relationships, perfect opportunities, or a perfect future. Once someone truly accepts that, something changes. They stop trying to become immune to uncertainty and start becoming comfortable with it. That's the first psychological shift, and it may be the most important one of all. 2. They focus on what they can control. One of the biggest differences between people who constantly worry about money and people who rarely do is where they place their attention. Most people spend enormous amounts of energy worrying about things they cannot control. The economy, inflation, interest rates, stock market crashes, political decisions, recessions, layoffs, housing prices. Every day there seems to be a new headline telling people what they should be afraid of next. And while these things matter, worrying about them doesn't actually change them. People who remain calm around money tend to ask a different question. Instead of asking, what if things get worse? They ask, what can I do today? It's a surprisingly powerful shift, because the moment you focus on what you can control, you regain a sense of agency. Maybe you can't control inflation, but you can improve your skills. Maybe you can't control the market, but You can improve your saving habits. Maybe you can't control the economy, but you can control your spending. The people who worry least about money aren't necessarily more optimistic. They're simply more focused on action than speculation. And action tends to reduce fear, because when you're moving forward, even slowly, you feel less helpless. 3. They trust their ability to recover. This may be the biggest psychological difference of all. Most people think financial confidence comes from having money, but genuine confidence often comes from believing you can recover if you lose it. Think about two people with the exact same amount of money. One person believes their future depends entirely on that money. The other believes their future depends on their ability to create value. Who do you think sleeps better at night? The second person understands something powerful. Money can disappear. Skills don't disappear. Experience doesn't disappear. Relationships don't disappear. The ability to solve problems doesn't disappear. The ability to earn doesn't disappear. People who rarely worry about money trust themselves more than they trust their bank accounts. That doesn't mean they're reckless. It doesn't mean they don't save. It simply means their confidence comes from their capabilities rather than their balance sheet. And that's a very different kind of security, because it travels with you wherever you go. 4. They don't build lives they can't afford to maintain. One of the strangest things about modern life is that many people become less free as they become more successful. At first, that sounds backwards. Shouldn't more money create more freedom? Sometimes, but not always. For many people, every increase in income brings an increase in obligations. A larger house, a larger mortgage, a more expensive car, more subscriptions, more expenses, more pressure. Eventually, they discover something surprising. Their lifestyle now requires them to keep earning at a certain level just to maintain what they already have, and suddenly, success begins to feel like a trap. People who rarely worry about money tend to avoid this pattern. They leave room. Margin, flexibility. They don't use every dollar their income allows, because they understand something most people learn too late. Financial peace doesn't come from maximizing lifestyle. It comes from maximizing breathing room, and breathing room creates options. 5. They define wealth differently. Most people define wealth as having more income, more possessions, more investments, more status, more everything. But people who rarely worry about money often define wealth differently. To them, wealth is not about accumulation. It's about independence. A person who needs very little to be happy is difficult to control, difficult to pressure, difficult to trap. That's a form of wealth that doesn't show up on financial statements. Imagine two people. One earns $250,000 per year, but needs almost every dollar to maintain their lifestyle. The other earns significantly less, but has low expenses and complete flexibility. Who is wealthier? Most people immediately focus on income, but the second person may actually be freer. And freedom is often the thing people are really searching for when they say they want more money. 6. They understand that comparison creates anxiety. Comparison might be one of the most expensive habits in the modern world. Not financially at first. Psychologically, you can be perfectly happy with your progress until you see someone else moving faster. You can be grateful for your home until you see a larger one. Satisfied with your income until you hear someone else's salary. Nothing in your life changes. Yet suddenly, everything feels different. That's the power of comparison. It changes the game without changing reality. The problem is that comparison has no finish line. There will always be someone with more, someone richer, someone younger, someone more successful, someone who appears to be ahead. People who rarely worry about money eventually realize this. So they stop measuring their lives against other people's scorecards. They focus on their own goals, their own values, their own version of success. And when you stop trying to win someone else's race, an incredible amount of stress disappears. The biggest misconception about people who never worry about money is that they have somehow removed uncertainty from their lives. They haven't. Unexpected things still happen. Markets still fall. Jobs still change. Businesses still fail. Life remains unpredictable. The difference is that they no longer expect money to eliminate uncertainty. Instead, they focus on becoming the kind of person who can handle uncertainty. That's a completely different mindset, because eventually they realize that peace of mind is not something you purchase. It's something you build. You build it through preparation, through patience, through adaptability, through confidence in your own ability to recover, and perhaps most importantly, through understanding that money is a tool, a useful tool, an important tool, but still just a tool. The people who never worry about money are not necessarily the people with the biggest bank accounts. They're often the people who have learned to stop giving money control over their emotional state. And once someone learns that lesson, something remarkable happens. Money stops being a source of fear and starts becoming what it was always meant to be: a servant, not a master.